still continuing our focus on trying to get a solution to the amnesty. Well, that's what is being proposed. And as a matter of fact, as you might have seen in the headlines, meetings, and more meetings are going on with the presidency, the northern leaders, religious leaders, comments coming from everywhere, everyone seeking to end the menace of the Islamic sect. Well, joining us this morning to continue in that stead is Uche Onyakucha, who himself is an environmental and human rights lawyer. He was a former member of the House of Representatives from 2003 to 7, and also he's been a lawyer to some members of MASOP, Ken Sarawiwa, Tekatom. But morning, Uche, and thank you for joining us today. Well, first of all, give us this background. I mean, just tell us, from what you've seen so far, the way we approach this, and comparing it to how you were involved in the last amnesty that was granted to the former militants, do you think that there are some fundamental things that we're missing out as a country, the way we approach this?
Good morning, Chamberlain. Good morning, Chamberlain. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to appear on this program. I think there are various ways we have approached it that is not right at the moment, and I think there is still opportunity for us to correct it. And the first thing is that we must all recognize that anybody in a situation that we have found ourselves at the moment must appreciate the fact that there are people who know the Boko Haram insurgents. They have schoolmates, they have classmates, they have friends and well-wishers. Because such people ought to still be in contact with them to
signal connecting with Uche from our studios in Abuja, but we will get back to him as soon as we are able to do that. So in the meantime, okay, yes, we've been able to reestablish that contact, and perhaps, Uche, maybe what you should do so that people can...
But even before he went to the creek, we had good contact.
Okay, just hold on. Let me say this. Now, maybe what you can do so that you can help people understand your background and perspective. Tell us, how involved were you with Masob, Ken Sarawiwa, Tekatom? Give us a background. How involved were you with the achievement of the amnesty the last time?
I the to one of the militant leaders, Chief Tekatom, and I appeared for him before the Truth Reconciliation Commission. Besides that, I also was regularly involved in the negotiations and discussions between him and the federal government for him to accept amnesty and for him to surrender. I visited him regularly in the creek. I took various government officials to the creek to visit him. Then the First Minister, General Godwin Bay, and Chief Tony Aneni went to visit him in the creek and so on. I traveled with him from the to Owerri with a Navy helicopter before we joined the presidential aircraft that brought us to Abuja, for where he met with President Haram. I was also with him from the creek up to the time he surrendered his arms in Port Harcourt. And then I have always been, for a long time, the lawyer to the movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, and that is because they found me competent to do their cases. I was one of the junior lawyers in the trial of Ken Sarawiwa, where I appeared alongside Chief Gary Femi Falana and Olisa Bakova. And in all those cases, I noticed there were differences in the way it was handled then and the way it is being handled now. Because I take the particular case of the Odi militants, where I was the leading lawyer for Ken Niwere, who was the leading Odi militant. Those ones were arrested, they were put on trial. for him when he was first arraigned before a magistrate court, before he was finally put on trial before the High Court in Bayelsa. But what I'm explaining now is that we need to have a situation where somebody or some people can say, we have good contact with these Boko Haram insurgents. Because it is such person who should now begin to speak on their behalf with the government. It is such people who should now begin to interface with the government to say, we are in touch with them, they are willing to surrender, they are willing to accept amnesty, they are willing to discuss. Because I can tell you, as a matter of fact, that in those days, I used to pass on my phone number to Chief Atiketom, and he spoke to so many people in very high government positions, because that was a period of confidence building. Now, with the Boko Haram insurgents, what I'm also saying is they ought to have lawyers who are interested in their case, who are prepared